Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to BDHS Media Productions. I am Parker Knoll, and I will be bringing to you this morning the girls and boys cross-country meet for the SAC title. So to start off first, we have girls running here at 9 o'clock, so we have 8 minutes till start. As you guys view your screen, you'll see a timer as I'm going to try to get as close to the starting gunshot as possible so you guys can see your Saints running through, and I'll try to point out mile markers as I can. But as we follow this course around Northrop's campus, you can look at the map here, take a screenshot on your phone, send it to your friend, whatever you need to do. But it has the mile markers on the map, and we're going to be running a great course today where we're starting kind of just on the horizon of the woods as we head around the baseball field, looping around Tent City, up and around the football field, and then back through the woods, 2 laps, and then they're going to finish with a nice finish line right in front of kind of the south side of the football stadium. So we will head here shortly. It looks like all the teams are lined up, ready to go at the starting line. And I think we're getting ready for a good race. I know Joe Garcia has tried to motivate these girls. I saw him talking to them down at Tent City. Looks like Bishop Dwenger tent is right on the home plate area of the old softball field here at Northrop High School. But I think we're going to have a good race. It looks like some kids are warming up still. Some girls are warming up, trying to get their legs hot, as today is kind of a brisk morning out here at Northrop Stadium. We have a wind coming from the east and a little bit of, chill this morning, as the high temperature right now is 48 degrees. However, it is sunny. It's still sunny, but as they run, they'll get that body temperature up and everything will be fine. By the second lap, I'm sure that, they'll be refreshed as this cold weather is upon us today. So it looks like quite the view. We have a good view of the start right now. And I'm going to try to get this play clock as close as possible. It may be, a second or half a second behind. But for the most part, I think we're going to try to be good as we can get. So I apologize if the scores that I call out are accurate. But, it'll be close. It'll be close. So at least we got the visual. I'm proud to be out here and helping view the Saints on the move this morning. Already had the national anthem. And so we are getting ready to roll here. We got 5 minutes left. This cross country, these kids are great. I have a lot of them in class, and I can't say enough about what Joe Garcia, Aaron Brady, and Nick Miles have done with the program. I mean, they're doing great things. And these kids, they really are raising these kids to be, gentlemen and gentlewomen and have great character with everything they do. I mean, in class, they always show respect. They're always disciplined, as cross-country runners kind of have to be. But also, they're just all-around good kids. And that's why I'm out here for them. And I love to bring it to you guys on air. But at the end of the day, I wanted to give the cross-country runners the publicity that they deserve, because they're all-around great kids, and I think what they do is amazing. I could never do it. I was always a baseball player, explosive, short distance, 90 feet at a time, right? That's what I always said. But in this race, hats off to them. 5K, people train for that, but these kids do it on a daily basis. So, it's a lot of hard work, a lot of discipline goes into that. So it looks like we're getting close. We're counting down. We have about 3 minutes till the gunshots start. So I'm going to go ahead and take a 30-second break here, and you're watching BDHS Media Productions.
High school football fans, welcome back to Friday nights, to pure spirits, to pure sports. Welcome back to high school football.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, And I just want to say, welcome back.
This is Friday night. This is Indiana high school football. This is your IHSAA.
Welcome back. You are watching BDHS Media Productions. I'm Parker Nolan. This is a live view of the cross-country SAC meet. So we just took a short break. You know, for the most part, if you don't hear my voice, don't think it's something happening with your computer, something going wrong. I really do not know much about commentating on cross-country, so please forgive me, as I'm going to do the best I can. But, you know, it's great being out here, great energy. You know, I absolutely love it. You know, I admire cross-country meets because even the fans get into it. Even the fans will run around. They will meet people at the mile markers, and they will, you know, they'll get a workout in as well. So, you know, I think it's great. There's nothing like it in the world. So we're counting down. Got about a minute 45 till the gunshot start. And so if you don't hear me on air during the gunshot start, that's because I'm trying to focus to get the time as close as I can on your guys' screen. But I'll follow the race around. They keep on, like, faking me out here. I mean, I see a big group of girls running. And, looks like they're getting, looks like they got going. And I got the clock going. Never mind. I know nothing about cross country and commentating. Great job, guys. You just... I hope you guys are enjoying this at home as much as I am right now. So, it looks like they just got a little warm-up in. Maybe I can get some expertise. You know, I talked to Joe Garcia. He said he'd send me up a few runners once they're done with their races. And so, but for the girls' race, I have nobody right now. But it looks like they're all in their team huddles, giving them a nice pep talk before the game. You know, maybe I could get some insider expertise from a former cross-country runner or coach, you know, later on. And, you know, maybe this broadcast will be a little bit better. I'm just excited to be out here bringing it to you. And as they head back to camp here, they head back to the start line. I'll zoom out to get a bigger picture. You can see all the runners out there. It looks like we are winding down. About to get a gunshot start here. Now it looks like they're getting their legs hot. They're getting ready to go, and so let's listen in. Try to get the start. And there we go. We got the official gunshot start. Sorry I faked you guys out a little bit on the screen. They faked me out, so I apologize. And now the Lady Saints are on their way. And as you can see, they're moving quite fast for this first mile, and that's usually how it goes here with distance running. And so I'm going to try to get the best look that I can from these bleachers up here at Northrop Stadium. They'll head around the baseball field, and that's going to be kind of tough to get all day, ladies and gentlemen, online. But I'm going to try to do the best I can, as they do have a couple points in the race where they are right by me, and so that will be good to get. But for the most part, you know, we're a minute into this thing, and things are looking good. Looks like they're now heading over the left field hill over there at Bruins Ballpark. And looks like they're going to be coming around quite quickly here. I can't tell who's up front. And I apologize if I cannot spot out any names. I don't have a roster. But I'm going to try to call them out as best I can. I'll just call out specific Saints that I see, that I know from around the school, from what I know around the class. But it looks like they're coming around the right field pole here at the baseball stadium. Now they should be coming down the home stretch here, meeting the 1K line, the 1K mile marker, so we should be pretty good. It looks like they're coming around. It's hard to see who's leading right now here. Let me see if I can zoom in as they come around the football stadium. Get a few in the pack. It looks like we do have a few Lady Saints in there. Now the meat of the pack is running past home plate of the Northrop ball field. And then they'll be coming around the edge of the softball field here as they head around Tent City. And then I'll pick them up as they come by. There is a nice lane right here where we can pick them up. And we will. And it looks like they're heading around. Looks like we got a lot of Dwenger boys down there supporting, cheering on the girls. You know, there's a lot of, I want to say, kind of a confraternity with the cross country team. As they all practice together, there's a lot of good, there's a lot of good support from both sides, boys and girls. It looks like we have a few Bruins leading the pack here as they come across your screen, and some cadets as well. So you'll see those coming out right now. No Saints in the lead pack, all right, but it looks like we do have a few coming around the corner here. We have Concordia next, 2 runners for Concordia, another Bruin, and it looks like a Bishop Luers Knight, and then finally a Lady Saint. A couple Lady Saints. And then here comes me the pack. A lot of the Lady Saints are right there in a big group. And it looks like they're all running together, running at a good pace, it seems, as I think that they're going to be able to take this and take this race and do well with it. So as you see on in the middle of your screen, you got a few more Lady Saints coming by, but for the most part, I think this is all good energy. We got a pack of Luers Knights coming here, a triplet, and we're nearing the midway point. They just passed the 1 kilometer marker as we head into this next half of the course. So the next half of the course, they will go around the practice football field and then back behind the stadium, which I'll lose most of them. However, they'll come back around for another lap, and then they will finish. I do want to say, great day here. Looks like we got a lot of support from the Dwenger team down there. Roughly the 1K mile marker, or 1K marker, not mile marker, I guess. Guess you can't have that. Looks like a pack of Saints down there ready to support their team as they come back for lap 2. And that's where you really get in the grit of it. Fans are running around. There's a nice view of Tent City as all the SAC teams have their all tents set up, ready for action. And so after they head around the stadium, remember, folks, here I'll throw the map up on the screen really quick once again so we can explain what's going on. So they just hit the 1 kilometer marker. Now they are wrapping themselves around the practice field. And they're coming back around the back of the football field, where then they will hit kind of a corner, and then they'll head into the woods. So I could probably get them picked up as they head in the woods. It looks like the ATV's over there now, so I will try to get that corner where they head into the woods. But then they got a whole nother lap after this, folks, and so don't think this race is over yet. A lot of hope for the Lady Saints. Looks like we have some students here supporting. Great. We love to see it.
Yeah, Dwenger! Let's go!
We love to see it. Now they're kind of in my shot, but that's fine. And I'll get the point where they head into the woods. As you can barely see, it looks like a pack of Saints is about to go in there now. But the woods is basically the only part of the course that I can't cover quite well. I mean, for obvious reasons. But hopefully in future broadcasts, when we bring the SAC meet of 2023, we might be able to have a camera on the back of the ATV, running around with these girls on the front of the leading pack and behind the stragglers here. But maybe that's a good thought. I'll write that down for next year. So get them as they're heading in, and I'll for sure be able to get them at the finish line. So it looks like we're about 7 minutes into this race. We're looking good. You really do. You love to see it. Now they're heading back into the woods. And so I'll get them as they come out. There's a lot of suspense when they head into the woods, because really anything could happen in there. I mean, I understand it. It's a clear path and all, but I mean, it's kind of exciting because when you come into the woods, oftentimes there's a new leader who emerges from the pack, and I think that's kind of a great thing. I think it gives this course a lot of character. But we'll see them as they come out of the woods here. They're rounding kind of where the soccer complex here is over at Northrop Stadium, and so I'll kind of get them as they come out of the gate there. Let's see how well we can get this camera zoomed in there. But so that's where they're going to be coming out of. Looks like we have a few coming out. Looks like Northrop is leading the pack here with their bright orange. But I could be mistaken. No, that's Northrop. The sun was just shining on it strangely. Looks like we have a Concordia cadet as well. Concordia and Northrop both have great, excellent cross-country programs. A lot of talent here in the SAC. I know Northrop's always strong, and they historically have a great track program. So a lot of great runners come through Northrop, but also Concordia oftentimes has an outstanding cross-country program. But the Dwenger Saints are always up there in the midst of the leaders of the pack of the SAC. Here they come. We got a few Saints around the corner here. Love to see it. A few Bruins as well. Excuse me, sorry. There was one Saint in that pack. But we have a mostly cadet Bruins pack leading us today. Here we go. We got a few players rounding. It's hard to make out who it is, so I apologize for that. But looks like things are getting off to a nice start here. So we just are rounding up. We're finishing lap 1, and we're heading into lap 2. As the leaders are already rounding around the baseball field, the backside of the baseball field. And so, got about 10 minutes in, just over 10 minutes, about 10:40. Down here on the field, I see the boys cross-country team. Looks like the Fab Five warming up down there, starting to get their legs hot with this brisk temperature of 48 degrees here in Fort Wayne, Indiana. But it really is a beautiful morning out here, folks. It really is. So I'm going to take a short break from commentating. You guys are probably tired of hearing my voice. But I will have the camera still rolling. But I'm just going to give my voice a break, get a drink of water, and we'll be back on in a little bit, commentating-wise. I won't stop the video feed, but we will stop the commentating here for a bit. So I'll be back in a bit. This is BDHS Media. What? Huh? All right. All right, folks, welcome back. This is Parker Knoll with BDHS Media Productions bringing to you live the cross-country race here for the SAC title. And so we are going to be viewing here the last moments of the girls' race. And so I'm going to try to get the runners as they come through. However, I do expect kind of a big pack of girls, or just fans in general, excuse me, a big pack of fans kind of surrounding that end, the finish line there. And so I'm going to try to get it the best I can. And I'm going to try to call out names However, I'm standing quite a ways away, and it's hard to tell who each individual is. So I apologize in advance, but at least I'm going to try to get the finish line here. And so I'm getting to the point, I'm capturing the point right now where the runners enter into the woods and they make a kind of, a half loop in the woods and come out the other end. And then they'll make a straightaway on the edge of the woods here to finish it up here at the Bruins course. The Dwenger gentlemen are warming up still. They're getting their, legs hot so that they can try to seek out an SAC championship just as the ladies are here. I'll pan over the finish line once we see kind of the first few girls runners finishing up over there. It looks like it's going to be kind of tough to view with the crowd that's starting up here, but I'll try to get them as best I can. It looks like they'll come out on the other side of a white truck, and so I may, if that's easier, pick up that spot, even though it's maybe 20 yards after the actual finish line. You'll be able to see at least a little bit the order of which the Saints finish. So we got a few more heading in the woods over here, and so looks like we have the first of many about to cross the finish line over here, and so let's see if we can get a nice peek. So where that white truck and the trailer is where the finish line is going to be. So I'm going to try to zoom in the best I can and try to pick up some runners as they come across. So that blue mat there, I believe the blue mat is pressure sensitive. And so once their foot hits that, then, it will record a time in which, each person is labeled on there. So I'm going to try. It looks like we have the first. It looked like a cadet to finish the race. Looked like a cadet and then a Bruin. It's kind of tough to see, so I apologize. I'll try to get a better shot here, see how we can make this better as people start to gather. We are set up on the top of the visitor side bleachers here at the football stadium, and so I was hoping we'd be a little bit higher so we could get more of a bird's eye view, but we'd have to go much higher for that. However, there is a nice gap in between the red sweatshirt and the trailer here, and so we can see, but as soon as I say that, a spectator comes and fills that. So that's just how it goes sometimes. Looks like a few Lures Knights come across sister school, and it looks like another Bruin comes across. So you can also see the time on the screen, by the red letters. Looks like a lot of girls finishing strong, which is what we like to see. I mean, I love the support here along this last stretch. It truly is amazing. And what it can do for you. You're running down, you're looking around, you see a big group of Saints, cheering you on. Maybe you see some family members, some friends here. I saw a couple of Bishop Dwenger students here, spectating. And, it really is a lot of support coming for these runners here. And it really does make a tremendous difference. In a perfect world, we wouldn't have this trailer here to block most of our, you can get a split-second view of who's coming across and when, but then, they kind of disappear into the trailer. Got a Panther. Snyder Panther just finished up. Another Bruin. There's a Saint. So we're about 24 minutes in to this race. And all the gentlemen here are starting to warm up, get ready for this race. For their races, that's coming here in a bit. Between the races, we'll set up, we'll have a nice little commercial break where you can go and, fill up your cup of coffee. Maybe go grab a donut. Get a nice little breakfast. And then we'll be back here shortly after the wrapping up of the women's race here. So it looks like we have a few more ladies finishing up here, and then it looks like the boys are doing kind of their warm up, starts, trying to get those legs hot, and then afterwards it looks like we got the JV girls and then the JV boys race here for the SAC matchup. Still having a few coming across the finish line at the 26-minute mark. So it is warming up here a little bit. The temperature that I have still says roughly, it changed to 52 degrees, and so it has warmed up a little bit. 4 degrees since we started, but with the sunshine, you can really feel a difference. I mean, it's starting to become, better running weather. I mean, for sure, not too cold, but it never really was terrible to begin with. But a little bit warmer, warm up the muscles a little bit more, and then you get a little bit better results. few last runners coming out of the woods. I think all of them have at least gone into the woods here. But a few last runners are emerging from the woods, trying to better themselves, try to beat their PRs as they come across the finish line. And that's really what it's all about. I mean, at the end of the day, whether you win, the SAC meet or not, right? At the end of the day, it truly is kind of just an outstanding thing when you beat a personal record. Right? When you beat a time that you've been trying to beat for maybe quite some time, maybe it's only been since the last meet, but it truly is an outstanding thing when one can beat kind of a personal record, just to show that personal improvement, that success is possible, even though you may not have won the whole thing, right? You bettered yourself, and that's really what sports is all about. It's all about discipline. It's all about bettering yourself. Feeling that success, and so when later on in life, when these kids are met with tough times and they don't see much growth, they can try and persevere, and therefore attain the results that they've been looking for. So we're almost nearing 30 minutes here as this women's race wraps up. I have a few more emerging. However, I'm going to turn the coverage to the boys over here. And I'm not sure what exact time they start, but it looks like they're all lined up over there. And so I'm going to try to attempt. They'll probably fake me out a few more times, because they love doing that. They love giving the new guy a tough time, but I'm going to go ahead and stop the clock. So stopped it at 30 minutes, and then we're going to try to get an accurate clock for the men's race. As the men get going, I'm going to step aside, take another water break here for a quick second. I'm not going to turn off the video feed, and I'm not going to go to commercial, but I am just going to give my voice a rest as we head into the second race. All right, you're watching BDHS Media Productions with Bishop Dwenger, boys and girls cross country. I got to get this gunshot down. The last one wasn't too bad. I mean, it was maybe a second behind. Line outs? Maybe I'll sneak that in there for. I really wish I did bring my water. This light pole or that light right there? Yeah.
What I was trying to say is,
We have the ability to kind of shift a few feet if we want to.
but by the end you have more gaps, so I feel like you could follow it in. I don't know, because like the end is this whole like stretch is usually like the part people want to watch, because that's where girls like kick it in.
Right.
Like, which this hole's in the way, but like where you can see them coming from where the flags start to finish, because that's where like you'll have girls pass each other and stuff.
Yeah.
But that's hard to follow.
But I mean, also, I can't get, because everyone's lined up, and you can't really see, and so the best I can do is just get the finish line, because that was a good gap.
No, yeah.
And so they can at least try to identify, okay, who that's, All right, we are back. So the gentlemen right now are doing their lineouts, getting their legs warm, practicing their starts. So it's just informed by a cross-country expert is that I started the clock a little bit early last time with the girls. It's because of the whistle. I went off the whistle, but they do have an actual gunshot here. Now I'm sure it's real noise, but the whistle gets them up to the starting line, and then when they hear the gunshot, that's when the official race starts. So we just heard the whistle here, and I hope you heard it in the background. And there you go. You got the gunshot start here with the second half. All the girls, all the guys starting strong, nearing the edge of the football. Sorry, not the football, the softball field. Looks like we got a few leaders up front. About 30 seconds in. A lot of promise. Start's always interesting. Start, you see a lot happen. Now we are heading into this kind of awkward stage with the broadcast as there's a lot of distance and there's a big group. At the very start, there's always a big pack. And as they tend to spread out, if you're just now joining us, I'll just kind of pick a spot on the race. I'll let the camera sit there so you can identify your Saints coming through, marching along here. But it looks like most of the gentlemen are. I don't see any big leaders emerging yet out there on the football field. But it looks like most of the gentlemen are on their way over for the backside of this course. So they're running up the hill along the right field line of the baseball field. And they'll come back around right in front of kind of the clubhouse of the baseball field. So I'll pan over to that spot right now. And they will come around. And I do like viewing it there as you can see the gator come by now. But you can kind of pick up your Saints as they walk past. It's kind of difficult for me to see with my own eyes. Not on my screen, but it is kind of difficult to see with my own eyes who's leading the pack. And so as they come across, just look for the Saints. I assume that you guys are watching for somebody, and maybe you're just watching, to support the Saints in any way you can. So you can just pick out. So we are wearing navy blue with white accents. Sorry. We are wearing white tops with navy blue bottoms, and it looks like we have quite a few Saints in the forerunners of the top, in the top pack of this. And so I'll zoom over there since I see that we have a few runners, and I'll get them as they come across. You can see the gator there coming around the corner, and that corner is exactly where I'm going to put my shot. So I'm trying to see who's coming around. Looks like we have some cadets leading, but not far behind. We have Brendan Nix and Pablo Suter as they come around the corner there. And we have looks like we have some Bishop Lures Knights in the red. In the white with the orange bottoms, we have the Northrop Bruins, big pack of them there. We have some Southside Archers in all green. Looks like Nathan James just passed that corner as well. I'm picking out these Saints. Looks very promising. Looks like we have Snyder in the yellow, more Lures Knights in the red. Snyder, there's also one wearing black and white. Then we have some Northside Legends in black tops with red bottoms. Lures is wearing red, all red. Northside's wearing black tops with red bottoms. So it looks like all the gentlemen are still kind of in one pack here. So this is kind of another tough part of the course to get, as they will head around the practice field of they'll head around the practice football field, and they'll come around kind of the backside of the home bleachers here, where they will disappear from behind the stadium, and then they will emerge and then I'll get the corner. I'll pick up the corner when they go in the woods. Now, this course, it does have a part of the course where it's solely covered by the woods. I mean, I think some spectators can go back there. I think it's more so players and teammates. But for the most part, it is hidden from the public eye. And so it's kind of exciting. It adds a little bit of suspense. So one of your runners may, come in to the woods here at this corner that I'm showing now. One of your runners may come into the woods here. And then, let's say in second or third. And then there is a possibility that they will jump into first. I mean, in these woods, because there's a lot goes on in there. I mean, there's a lot of hidden, and that's when people kind of pick up the pace, especially on the second lap of this course. So there is 2 laps. It's the same route all the way around both times. And so you'll see the gator come by now as they head into the woods for the first time. It looks like I'm trying to pick out. Hold on, that might be a saint. That might be a saint. I can't tell. I think that's a pack of saints leading the group there. I really do. I really do believe that was a pack of saints, and that's incredible. Looked like a pack of 3 seniors. I mean, that's amazing. The brotherhood there is outstanding. And, I am very interested to see who emerges from that forest first. I mean, this is exciting, folks. I mean, I see that pack of saints when they came around the first time. They were probably in 4th, 5th, and 6th place. However, I unless my eyes were playing tricks on me, ladies and gentlemen, I think that there was a pack of saints who went into that woods leading it. And that would be huge. I mean, we are looking for a victory over Concordia. Concordia has had a tremendous team the past few years, and we are looking for a men's cross-country victory over Concordia and the rest of the SAC. And I think I don't know if my eyes were playing tricks on me or not, but it seemed like there was a pack of saints heading into that woods. It looked like white tops with navy bottoms. And I'm excited for the rest of this race, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, this is truly, it's incredible. So we have a few more heading into the woods. Got your sights set on that. So if you're just now joining us, the finish line is kind of tough to get. I will try to get it the best I can. I'll do whatever I can. I am on a stationary camera. Maybe in future years we can get a mobile camera, put it on the back of the gator. I think that would be tremendous. That would, like you're viewing the Olympics, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, that's the type of technology I see in the future here during this SAC meet. But it is going to be kind of tough to get the finish line because people line up on that last stretch just because, they want to cheer on their teammates, they want to cheer on their family, their sons, their daughters, their brothers, their sisters, etc. And so when they do come down the line, it is kind of tough to get. But during the girls' race, I was able to get a little bit of section near the end of the finish line. So I'll pan out from entering the woods, and we will go into who is coming out of the woods here. And so I can't tell. It now looks like a Bruin is leading with the Saint close behind. Let's see if we can get a better look here. Oh. Sorry, I was a little bit high with the camera. This is a one-man show, by the way. So send all your complaints to Greg Slee, the AD. If you don't like this broadcast, he can hear about it. But just a warning, this is a one-man show. I'm out here conducting all this equipment. I got a soundboard, a computer, a camera, all working all by myself. And I'm trying to do the best to bring you guys this tremendous race right now. It was hard to, if I wasn't mistaken, out of the woods emerged a Bruin before a Saint. It looks like when they're rounding the top of the hill, it does look like there are 2 Saints close by each other, but leading about 10 yards, 20 yards ahead is a Northrop Bruin. Now they will come around, and I will be able to pick them up a little bit better because they'll be a little bit closer. However, it looks like the Northrop Bruin may be making some ground, but I think I saw Brendan Nix and Pablo Suter close behind. Looks like they're rounding by the baseball field. I'll go ahead and I'll pan over there. They're rounded behind home plate. Great facilities, great campus here at Northrop High School. It's always a good time. So it looks like there's a Bruin coming across your screen now, and here are the Saints close behind. And really, I mean, anything. They're on kind of the early part of their second lap. And so, really, anything can happen here, folks. I mean, in reality, we could see a big shift in the lead. Excuse me, my camera's a little bit off. So we could see a big shift in the lead here. As we see that Northrop Bruin, you can see him emerging in the crowd. And then close behind, looks like Pablo maybe now in front. And there they are, your Saints marching, getting ready to round this corner here. Looks like Pablo and Brendan side by side. You know, so this Northrop Bruin who's leading the pack, I'm not sure of his name, but it seems as if he may win this race, but it looks like from the looks of it that Bishop Dwenger will come and finish before these two Concordia cadets who are coming across your screen right now. So I'm going to zoom into where the students are cheering on. Really a spectacular sight. You know, I don't only see cross-country runners. I see a few other students there as well. Looks like Will is coming across the screen right there. Very good. I have him in class. He's a great kid. Excellent student. Asks excellent questions on Faith Fridays. But this is a team sport, ladies and gentlemen. Don't get me wrong. This isn't, this is a team sport, and so it's all about kind of where you finish, what your times are. Now, I think, you do get quite a few points if you are, within the first, 5 spots or so. But this is a team sport, and so it is about kind of the team finish. And so I didn't see any other Bruins kind of up in the pack that we were. I mean, there was that one who was absolutely leading, and that lead has probably been extended. I'm trying to see on the other side. That lead's probably at about maybe 50 yards now. However, the two Saints are still running side by side. And it's going to be interesting when they come across that finish line, if they're going to finish side by side, as a brotherhood, or if they're going to try to beat each other out. And so it looks still to be, as I can see as they disappear behind the football field, it looks as if they're two Dwenger runners, Pablo and Brendan. I believe that they still have quite a bit of lead on the next two pair, on the pair of Concordia cadets right behind them. So it looks like a few more people, are coming by. They're running by this, running by the dugout here at the old softball field here at Northrop High School. I'm trying to look out for some Saints. I'm not seeing any Saints in this particular group, and I believe all the Saints that we were looking for have passed. And so we do see some ladies and gentlemen lining up at the finish line. I will pan over to where they enter the woods because I see Brendan and Pablo entering the woods over there right now. So if we can pick that up. Yep, there they are right there, heading into the woods. We're going to see what happens. And it's giving me quite a bit of, some angst while they head into the woods. I mean, the Concordia cadets are coming around. The pair that was following Brendan and Pablo, they were coming around, and they're just now kind of getting to the woods, so they're probably roughly, maybe 10 seconds behind. It's hard to judge. I haven't been looking at the screen, but we are only 15 minutes into this race, roughly, just under about a half a minute under 15, so about 14:30. And this is going to be interesting as they emerge from this woods. I believe that Bruin is going to be up top. Now, it's going to be kind of funny, almost comical, enjoyable to watch Pablo and Brendan as they emerge from the woods and see this last stretch. Who's really going to try to come out on top? Or if they will finish together in an act of brotherhood. And I know that brotherhood exists here on the cross country team, as Joe Garcia has done an excellent job coaching these Saints on the move. But it's going to be quite interesting. I'm excited to see. And so if you're watching somebody who's a little bit later in the race, I apologize. As soon as I see those two emerge from the woods, I'm going to try to follow them as best as I can. It's going to be kind of tough to tell if it is kind of tough to see because the crowds gathered along the ropes of the side of the course. I will just pan in. I do see an open spot near the trailer where the clock is, where the final clock is at the finish line. We're about 15 and a half into this race. Things are looking up for the Saints. I think we have a good chance at winning SAC. Now, that Northrop Bruin was leading, but remember, ladies and gentlemen, this is a team sport, so it's about the team effort. Now, I don't know necessarily when I'm going to get the scores. So it looks like that Bruin is emerging from the woods. And so I'm going to try to get their emergence and then try to pan down. Sorry this light pole is in the way. It's pretty unfortunate. It does look like that pack of Saints. It looks like the cadet is now leading. One of the cadets is now leading. And it looks like it's going to be a foot race, ladies and gentlemen. Is quite the view. I can't tell. We're going to try to get into the finish line here. Who comes in first? And it looks like the Saint. Pablo does finish before the cadet on that last stretch. I saw that the cadet was leading the pair of Saints there, Brendan and Pablo. But it did look like Pablo finished in front of the cadet. Now he is on his knees. It looks like he is, He put in a tremendous effort there. Oh, that wasn't Pablo. That was Brendan on his knees. But Pablo is there by the tent, or by the trailer, excuse me. And it looks like they did put in a tremendous effort there towards that last stretch. It looks like that cadet was really pushing them and trying to get up front. But, Pablo kicked it in the gear. He really did. And he ended up in second place. I believe the cadet, I'm not sure of his name, I believe he was third by the looks of it. I might have to go back and put this on replay. This was a photo finish, folks. It truly was. I might have to go back, pull it up on replay, which I do have the ability to. No, just kidding. I do not have the ability to do. I apologize. Faked you out there for a sec. Sorry, quite a gust of wind. But looks like we have. It looks like the majority of the people who are done are cadets, which is not the sight that we wanted to see here. We want to see a Dwenger victory, of course. But we do see some more Saints coming through. There's a kind of a nice pack of Northrop Bruins coming through right now, as you can see. But that was quite exciting. That I just, I can't say enough about that last effort by Pablo and Brendan. That was truly inspiring. That cadet was trying to take over, trying to take, that second place spot, but the Saints prevailed. They pushed through, they persevered, and it looks like they had a nice finish. And I'm proud of both those seniors. They've had tremendous careers here out on the course, and they're both just great students, great kids, a lot of character. And a lot of times these days it's hard to find, a good young man with some character. But they both have tremendous character. tremendous passion for their school and for their school communities. And so it's good to see. It's good to see. It really is. I'm trying to give you guys a little bit more of a view of who's coming across. We do have some crowds gathering there. It does look like some more Saints have passed. It looks like I missed that while talking about Brendan and Pablo. But it does look like a pack of Saints has passed. I see Coach Garcia down there now. Looks like they're probably, getting their times, adding them up, and seeing where we finish. I love to see where all we're at. It's nearing 10 o'clock. It's 9:55. We're almost 20 minutes into this race. I think we're pretty accurate on that clock, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe, within a second, I'm guessing. Within a second. And I know you can kind of see the time on the red lettering on the actual finish line. However, it can be tough to see, so that time on your screen that you are viewing, that should be pretty accurate. Now, I'm not saying that it's going to be down the exact millisecond, because this is all, as far as I know, there's a lot of technology going on here. That pad, there's a blue pad at the finish line, so when people step on it, when runners step on it, it records the time. And so we don't have all that technology. It would be great to kind of sink into that in future years. However, today, it was kind of just, it was just show and go. I wasn't truly expecting, accurately what I was going to get myself into today. But, nonetheless, this has been awesome. This has been an awesome experience. And I think for future broadcasts, I think cross-country, especially this SAC meet, just because a lot of the course is viewable. A lot of the course is viewable, and you can see, major points in the course and how they take place and how things pan out. So I will zoom in on the Saints right there. It looks like they're giving each other congratulations, some hugs, some handshakes. Looks like Nathan James is down there. Looks like Pablo, Brendan, all the gentlemen cross-country runners are down there giving their support. That last stretch, that was crazy. That was good. That was exciting. And it looks like the girls' JV runners are warming up. I will bring you some of their race. I may be here for the girls' game, or sorry, not the game, the girls' race, but possibly not the boys. I do have to head out and get ready for a wedding today. My dear friend is getting married, and so I am going to maybe have to say goodbye before the boys' race. But I'm going to make sure before I go to get the results of the SAC meet before I head out, to let you guys know how we did. Now, it may take some time. I have not devised a plan how I can do that yet, but I'll be sure to. I'm going to step aside for a moment. I will let the footage roll here at Northrop Stadium. But it was truly exciting. We do have a few more coming across the finish line, but I will pan the camera now because I think all of our Saints are done and they are accounted for. And I'll pan the camera to the girls' JV race warming up. I know we do have a few Lady Saints in that, and they're going to be on the move here shortly. But I will take a short break here. I'll try to figure out some, where we are, where we place, and I'll get back to you guys on how we did in that boys and the girls varsity races. But I'll step aside here. I'll keep the footage rolling. This is Parker Knoll bringing to you live the SAC Cross Country Championship, and you're watching this on BDHS Media Productions. Oh, were you laughing at the wedding part? That was crazy.
That's how you.
I wish I could. I wish I could have captured. Yeah, this pole in future years we'd bring a longer extension cord and we'd go over there, right? And that's just some notes to take from for this year. I mean, right, welcome back. Welcome back live to the Bishop Dwenger cross-country team competing at the SAC championship here. On your screen, you don't see anybody, so you might be confused, but that's because the Saints are doing their line-outs to warm up before the boys and girls JV race. And so I have figured out, I believe, that these two groups are running the race together. So it seems that pack of Saints right there. You got the guys JV and now the girls JV are coming in the camera. They are running the race. And so we do have, a lot of Saints in this JV race. I'm not sure about other programs and what kind of JV programs they have. But, the Bishop Dwenger cross-country program is strong. It has a lot of promise. Quite a few, kids. I'm not sure the exact number here. But there are quite a few kids who do have, involvement within the cross-country field. So it looks like they're getting ready to line up. There's the whistle up to the line. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. We are off here at Northrop High School campus here. We do have, it looks like, a Saint leading the pack here. We're going to see if that holds out. The varsity men's race, if you're just not joining us. The varsity men's race was truly exciting. I mean, it really was. Saints finish. I still have yet to receive the results from that. But I think we do show a lot of promise in taking one of the top 3 spots. We did have, I think, second place was Pablo, and it seemed like possibly fourth place was Brendan Nix. But we will see. I still have yet to wait the results. It looks like the gentlemen who just finished their race on the varsity level, looks like they're now doing kind of a cool down jog, if I'm not mistaken. I have my cross-country expert here next to me. Too shy to come on air, but that is fine. She's helping me out. And so this course it's kind of a neat one. It's got a lot of character to it. I'm gonna start panning down. You see the gator there in front of the lead runner, highlighting the course for him. But they start near the soccer complex here at Northrop. So if you're familiar with the area, they start near the soccer complex. About 2 minutes in with our first Bruin, kind of nearing about a third of the way through the first lap. But you do see there's a lot of character to this course. You start down by the soccer complex, and then you run up the side of the Fort Wayne Community Schools North parking bus lot for the buses. And so then they come around, they loop down around the tents, and then they head back up around the north side of the football field here. And so looks like a Bruin is out in front and then a Saint close behind. So I will stop the footage near the baseball field and I will begin to cover the turn here near us. So you see the gator down there, so that's where the Bruin is now heading. And I'll call this as I see it, folks. Looks like that might be Dylan Keister now. Yep, he is now rounding. Very good. Very good. And then we have another Saint. Sorry I couldn't pick him up. I'll just keep it. Looks like we have a pack of cadets here. We have a few more Saints coming around. I see Isaac Clauser there, Liam Jenzik here, both coming around the corner here. A lot of excitement here. Do you have Ben Bloom coming around the corner here? Very good. Andrew Zink. Have a few of these kids in class. They're great kids all around. I was saying that earlier, and if you didn't catch that, then I apologize, but I will say that these cross-country gentlemen and gentlewomen both have, a lot of character. And you kind of need it. And it looks like our first few Lady Saints are coming through. It's awesome to see. You see quite a bit of camaraderie there with some students, some classmates of these runners there cheering everyone on. It's great to see a lot of support. Looks like a big pack of Lady Saints coming around. Proud of them. I could never do this, folks. Let me just say that. A lot of respect goes out to these cross-country runners. It was a good friend. I had a good friend in college who was a cross-country runner. And by being around him, I was kind of, introduced to a sport a little bit more. And there's a lot of preparation that goes into these races. I mean, a lot of preparation. It's countless miles by the end of the season. Truly, they have Candle and Zinc coming around on the screen there. Truly an amazing, thing. I could never. Now, baseball, a lot of people say, it's 90% mental and then the other half is physical, right? But this is completely, blows baseball out of the water with the mentality that you need to have to be a good cross-country runner. Just the amount of discipline, the amount of grit, the amount of perseverance it takes to be a cross-country runner, I could never do. So much respect goes out to these men and women as they take on this sport. I could never. Maybe someday, but definitely not here soon. Great energy here. So a part of this course is covered by the woods. I know I've said this a few times if you've been watching this whole thing, but a part of this course is covered by the woods. So we have the first Bruin that enter the woods there, and so it is truly amazing. So in the men's race, I will say, in the varsity men's, we did have a close race for the first spots. Now Northrop Bruins, they had an individual start. He ended first. But there was a pair of Saints and a pair of Cadets that emerged from the woods together. There was kind of, probably, it seemed like almost a 10-second difference between them when they entered. But when they came out, when they emerged, it was rather close. And so this woods really is on the second lap. We're on the first lap right now, but on the second lap, it can be quite exciting as they emerge from the woods and cross the finish line. It definitely had my heart rate up a little bit. I wish I could go down there and cheer them on. So we're roughly 7 minutes into this JV boys and girls race. I saw them go that way, and then they turn around.
They probably started going that way when the race was coming through.
So we see kind of a few more Saints enter the woods here. A few more Lady Saints enter the woods. So a lot of teams doing their cool downs from the varsity matches. A lot of people here. There's quite the there's a tremendous turnout here at Northrop High School for this event. A lot of support goes into these cross-country teams, and it is amazing. Because the fans, if you want to get a nice workout, I'll pan to where the gentlemen are now emerging from the woods. Sorry, I gotta do some acrobatics around my equipment here. A lot of cords going different directions. I'll try to pick them up as they come across the soccer facility here. Looks like we do have that's a cadet who just passed the screen. It looks like a cadet is leading with the Bruin now, close behind. And when they enter the woods, the Bruin was up front. So the Bruin was up front as they went into the woods. However, when they coming out of the woods, it looks like a cadet was actually leading the pack. So let's see if I can find a nice break in this crowd here. Looks like we do have a few Saints there coming around. Showing a lot of promise for this JV squad. But what I was saying is that if you want an excellent workout, come out to the cross country match. Because it's a lot of running, even and walking, even for the fans. I mean, yeah, you can set up a chair at the finish line, but that's no fun because you're gonna be waiting around, not seeing any action, for the first 15, 20 minutes or so. And so there's a lot of movement. Fans are running around. They're getting their teammates, their brothers, their sisters, their sons and daughters. They're getting all of them as they kind of come around at different parts of the track, or the course, sorry, excuse me. But there is a lot of running around. And I went to one in high school, and I remember I went to one in high school, and I was running around with the cross-country runners who weren't in the race, and they were running around like crazy. And I remember by the end of the race, I was absolutely gassed. I mean, I was breathing hard. I was checking my beats per minute. I mean, I was wiped. I was tired by the end of that thing. I mean, but it was fun. It was truly amazing. And it just puts into the reality of what these gentlemen and gentlewomen can do here with this sport. Something that you just can't pick up and do. I mean, it takes a lot of discipline, a lot of hard work to get to the places where these athletes are. So you do see the gator coming by down in the middle of your screen. And so you can see the forerunners kind of in the foreground. Okay, you can see the leaders in the foreground. Looks like we do have a cadet there leading the pack. And then it looks like another cadet and a Bruin are coming around on your screen here. For kind of a close second here. Oh, sorry, excuse me. It's a cadet. Sorry, no, not a cadet. That is a Northrop Bruin and your own Bishop Dwenger, Dylan Keister here. So a senior cross-country runner, excellent class, had him in class last year, excellent kid. And so I hope he can pass that Bruin. We still have a lot of race left. We're just over, for these leaders, we're just over the halfway point. We're about 12 and a half minutes in. Now we got Dylan Keister on your screen here. Keeping his pace, keeping steady. Tremendous effort. Looks like we have a few cadets on your screen as well. Looks like we got a Saint here running. Trying to make out who that is. Got a few more here. A few more pushing each other. You love to see it, ladies and gentlemen. You love to see it. A lot of camaraderie at these events. A lot of cheering, a lot of camaraderie. Isaac Clauser now past the corner, around the corner. He's heading towards the backside, north side of the football stadium. So it has real field temperature now, 55 degrees. So since the first race, the girls varsity, temperature has risen roughly, 7 degrees. The sun is getting brighter, it's getting hotter, and so the elements really are changing. So over the course of a 20-minute race, you could see, especially kind of in this fall weather, you could see a rise in temperature that's quite a bit that could affect you. And so, you can't, this isn't an indoor sport where, right, everything is consistent. This is a sport where, these are long races, take quite a bit of time, and so you get this possibility of change in weather that could affect outcome. And I don't really think people really think about that. A few more Saints around the corner. It looks like one lone Saint. Trying to make out who it is. And it looks like the gentlemen are heading into the woods. It looks like Dylan Kieser still following that second place Bruin close behind. He's maybe half a second behind. He's got to make up in order to get second place. Looks like he's pushing along, and so he just headed into the woods, followed by a pair of cadets. Top place for the JV right now belongs to the cadets. But for the most part, we got a few more Saints around the corner on your screen here. But we're about to head towards the finish line. As these gentlemen enter the woods, they will emerge, and I will then I will focus more so on the finish, and I'll leave the camera on the finish line to see your Saint finish this race. Few more runners come across. Few more runners come around this corner. It's a beautiful morning out. Beautiful fall morning. Can't say that enough. It really is. Excited to be out here. Good energy. See a lot of Saints. The Saints are sporting kind of a retro look with their warm-ups this year. Got a shamrock on it representing the old Central Catholic High School that was in downtown Fort Wayne before the two other Catholic high schools emerged in the area. So they are sporting kind of a historic look. Purple. They're wearing purple. Not few Dwenger teams, sport the color purple. Usually that's a New Haven or a Leo thing. I think it looks good. Looks good, especially with the Central Catholic logo on it. Altered a little bit, I believe, to fit the cross-country team. But it looks good. I'm a fan. We got a few more cross-country runners. I believe Marie Bieber just passed your screen. Got some friends cheering her on quite obnoxiously. If anything, I would be annoyed and I would run a little bit faster, try to get away from them. And maybe that's her friend's tactic. Who knows? There's a lot of thought and there's a lot of tactics that go into these races. I'm sure a lot of runners kind of have a cue word that somebody says and makes them pick up the pace a little bit more, locks them in a little bit more. I'm sure that's a thing. And here we have the boys. So we have the gentleman leading the pack. I'll emerge. Sorry, I apologize. This big telephone pole. It's not a telephone pole, but it looks like one. It's actually a stadium light pole. But they are starting to now finish the race, and so I will have Looks like the cadet is the first to finish. And I think close behind, it looks like Dylan Keister is now leading the Bruin over here. Let's see if we can get a close-up of Dylan here as he finishes. It looks like he is leading. He's just in your screen now. Looks like he is pushing. He's pushing. That was another cadet who finished. Sorry, not Dylan Keister. Looks like Dylan's coming in now. He's coming in hot now. Yep, there he is right there. Looks like he finishes third. Or maybe fourth. I think that Bruin was in there and I missed him. So I think Dylan Keister has a fourth place finish. Which excellent. You know, I have him in class. I think I have him next semester in class. Great kid. Proud of him. Really, really am proud of him. I mean, that's a tremendous achievement. Because there's a lot of good runners, and a lot of good teams have some really good JV squads. Like the cadets have a good competitive JV squad where most of them could run at the varsity level. And so the top few finishers here really could be competitors in the varsity level. So I have the camera set on the finish line so you can pick out your Saints as they come across. It's kind of difficult for me to do so because when they come across, it's kind of tough to see. It looked like some other cadets, maybe a few more Saints come across there. It's kind of hard to pick out. A lot of people wearing white. Concordia's got a light gray, and in the lighting, it can kind of seem like it's a Dwenger Saint. Especially with the dark bottoms and the lighter top, like the Saints gentlemen are wearing. It looks like another Saint finish there, if I'm not wrong. It looks like out of the finishers so far, looks like a lot of Saints, a lot of cadets. So I still have yet to receive the results from the for the varsity races. I've still yet to receive the results. And so as soon as I get those, I will send those off to you guys. It did seem like Brendan Nix. So I have an update that in the varsity race, Brendan Nix was third. And so the source on that seems, pretty reliable. She was down there at the finish line, but it seemed like Brendan was third. And so I don't necessarily. I could have swore Pablo finished before Brendan, and maybe I was wrong because I was watching, from quite a ways away. But it did seem like Pablo finished before. So maybe Pablo got a second and Brendan got third, or maybe I just confused the two. Maybe I'll have to go back and look at the footage, which you can do if you wish. If you want to watch the finish of the varsity girls and boys races, you can kind of rewind YouTube. So that is available for you, and this will be up online as well. It'll stay online. It'll stay on YouTube. So if you want to come back, watch the finish of your Saints here. It's kind of tough to get. I apologize because of the crowd. But you can go back and you can watch and try to pick out. You can even slow it down too. You can put it, in half speed. I'm trying to make out. There is quite a crowd forming near the finish line, so I apologize for that. So while wrapping up, I'm still waiting the results. Once I get those, I will make sure to get those out to you all at home watching. I'm glad to do this, by the way. I'm glad to be out here and bringing this to you guys at home. I mean, some feedback would be great. Seems like we have 8 viewers right now, but a total of 102 viewers so far, logging in and out. So I think that's promising. I think that is, and I think that calls for us to do this in future years. I don't know about every meet, but as for the SAC, I think that's a given. I think that's needed to come out here and to film and to broadcast. I'm happy to do it Saturday morning. Great weather out here. Now, if it's raining, that would be a different story. It'd be tough to do a broadcast because my equipment is not covered. But as long as the sun's shining and God is good, I'll be out here. And God's always good, so it's just about the sun then. Much thanks goes out to Joe Garcia, the head cross-country coach, for kind of giving me some information about the course. He sent me a course map that, I've thrown up on the screen a few times during this broadcast. But, a big shout out. I couldn't have done this without him. He gave me a lot of guys. And Melissa Wheeler. Melissa Wheeler also helped out. She gave me the idea. She came up to me and said, hey, would you mind filming the cross-country meet on Saturday? It's a big competition. It's the SAC championship. And so she really, she brought me the idea, and I really probably wouldn't have thought about it, but she brought me the idea, and so I'm glad to be out here helping my current coworker, my past coworker with Joe, helping them out, and they really truly did help me with this. They gave me the idea of perching myself up here on the stadium bleachers to get kind of a better view of the course, and it really did work out. I mean, it was good. And so many thanks to them. And, right, without them, I wouldn't be bringing this to you guys at home. And thanks for the viewers for coming out, showing, logging in, listening to my voice. A lot of you probably have me muted, but that's fine. You guys are here for not me, but the kids, as for I. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to get a drink of water. I'm going to step aside. The footage will still roll, so if your Saints coming across the finish line here, the footage will still roll. I'm going to try to stay out as long as I can in order to get the scores from the boys and girls varsity meet, varsity match, the run there, the race. And so, but I'm going to step aside, get a drink of water, take a short break. The video will still roll, but you are watching Cross Country SAC Championship, and this is BDHS Media Productions. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is BDHS Media Productions bringing to you the Cross Country SAC Championship. My name is Parker Knoll, and I've been bringing you this broadcast. And I've been glad to be out here. We are nearing the end of the JV race. Only a few more runners to finish. But we're going to sign off. So I want to thank each and every single one of you for joining us during this journey. A lot of respect, hats off, goes off to these Bishop Dwenger Saints as they completed the SAC Championship today. I have not yet received a word for results, but we're going to go ahead and sign off. You can find the results posted online, and I'm sure they will be announced at school on Monday. So this has been fun. I'm looking forward to doing this next year. And, you know, a lot of respect and hats off goes out to these runners as they have endured the elements, persevered with discipline and grit and effort into completing these races, and I couldn't be prouder of every single one of them. So I appreciate you all tuning in today to BDHS Media Productions as we brought to you the live feed of the girls and boys varsity cross country championship, but also the JV cross country SAC meet as well. So I'm Parker Knoll, and thank you for joining in. And we appreciate you. Make sure you guys all make sure to tune back into BDHS Media Productions. So have a blessed day. Enjoy the weather. And stay strong in your faith, as God is good and He is always. It's been nice. Thank you for watching.